Eddie Hearn's very confident that'll happen too. He's hinted a lot. He's gone on record saying that it's going to happen in 2018. This transition to the U.S., do you think it could possibly make it even allowing the fight to happen somewhere here that could boost his matchroom boxing stable in America just by seeing what he's able to do with his biggest name, bringing him over, putting him out here in Las Vegas or something? You know, do you think that's
I think that's a possibility, definitely. I think, but for these kind of fights to be made, you really should negotiate behind closed doors, and not every time you have a phone call with somebody, announce it and issue a press release. I think, I'm having breakfast with Al Haymon and Shelly Finkel, and I ordered scrambled eggs, or now we're having dinner, or now I just got off the phone, and 50-50 is never going to happen. Yeah. This is not the way you get these really big fights done. But, the fact is, Eddie is a good promoter. He's done many relatively big fights in the UK, but he's really a novice when it comes to putting together mega fights. He did the fight with Klitschko and with Joshua, yeah. But that was really more the team Klitschko because they are an experienced team. They've been in many big fights. So I believe if we want to see that fight, it's better to do the discussions and negotiations between the parties and behind closed doors.
Well, what you saw, his overall act that he put up for Daniel Jacobs' debut on Matchroom Boxing USA, what did you make of that from Eddie Hearn on his part as a promoter, and then Daniel Jacobs as a fighter? How did you see the whole event?
Well, I think the card really didn't live up. In the ring, it was like it was not very exciting. I'm sorry. It wasn't. And I love Danny Jacobs. I think he's an absolute class act. And again, a fighter I've been involved in from his first fight on. So he's a terrific fighter, an amazing story. Not sure having him fight in Long Island is really the place to be. Obviously, it wasn't because I think they sold like 1,200 or so tickets and 1,300 tickets, something like that. So it wasn't a very good big turnout, and I think Eddie is going to realize that the US is not the UK. It's a bit different, In the US, you have to compete with many other sports. In the UK, they have soccer, football, which obviously is very big. But other than that, they don't have basketball, they don't have baseball, they don't have the hockey, they don't have the football, they don't have all these other sports you're competing against. And when you look at October, in October you have a lot of stuff going on. Pretty much all the sports I just listed are going on, so you're competing for the eyeballs on TV, but you're competing for the bodies to go into the venue as well. And he's going to learn that it's a little bit different. And if he thinks that these people who promoted Danny Jacobs before had no clue what they were doing, then I think he's going to learn.
Did you see his reaction after you were very happy with his imitation of you? He reacted to it. He put a video out there. He apologized his own way, but what did you make of that? If you got a chance?
I didn't really see it because I really don't follow Eddie Hearn. I have, thank God, better things to do than that. But no, my point was not just. I couldn't really care less as it relates to me. But when he makes fun of African American and accents and people like that, this is maybe the British humor. Which I understand is different in the US, but it was really more like a friendly advice to him and say, hey, look, buddy, if you want to come and make it big here in the US, I think, it's a little bit different in the UK, and here are a few pointers. Yeah. But, I really mean that sincerely. I have no issues with Eddie Hearn, We are promoting in the UK. So why would I have a problem him promoting over here? I think it's a different market, it's a different environment, and you cannot just. And I don't think he is expecting to come in here and just become the king of boxing promotions. That's not gonna happen, and he's got a few things to learn.